everybody, it's Felisa, and I actually vlogged this in my car for one of my car chronicles, and then I didn't really like how it came out, and I didn't like how it came across because I don't think that it really reflected my true intent. So I wanted to try it again while I'm at home and, able to sit and think about it for a minute. But this vlog is going to be on triggers, emotional responses, and social media. I know that that's like a lot, but trust me, it'll make sense. So my disclaimer, because I try and have one when I have things that are controversial or, just a hot button topic, is that, these are my ideas, my thoughts, my rants, my observations. They are definitely my perspective. While I don't think that any of my experiences are unique, they are unique to me in the way that I see it, in the way that I kind of process information. So I wanted to be sure to say that before I move forward. But as you heard in the opener, shout out to Brooke Valentine. I don't even know if she's still doing music, but that was Girl Fight. And, that should give you an idea of where I'm going with this. So let me give you a little bit of background. Y'all know that I love my online interaction. I'm sorry, something keeps flying in my eye. I love my online interaction with people. I love really being able to dialogue and have conversation with different people and, give different perspectives and have different perspectives be presented to me. I don't necessarily always agree with everything. Matter of fact, I would probably say that 65 to 70% of the time I don't agree, but I think that you can disagree without being disagreeable, which leads me into my topic at hand. I think that one of the things that is so difficult about social media is that it involves the written word, right? And so the written word has a tendency to be misconstrued and has a high tendency to be misinterpreted. And so oftentimes people will say things, and because you aren't able to hear tone or inflection or pitch or, read body language, or actually hear someone's heart, so to speak, it's very easy for you to become very subjective. As a matter of fact, you really don't have a choice but to be subjective because you hear it in your own voice. You read it the way that, you read it, which may not necessarily have the commas or the periods in the right place. And so for interpretation value, it really causes you to have a disconnect, and that becomes problematic, and you respond to that in a way that may not always be appropriate. So, if someone says, yeah, your dad was in a nursing home, that's one thing. If somebody said, yeah, your daddy was in a nursing home, that takes on a whole different context. So now you're like, what you trying to say, girl? So, I really want to make sure that I'm saying that because I think that we have to be careful of affixing a tone or an inflection to someone where that may not necessarily be the case. I think that it's important for us to seek understanding or to be aware that we are interjecting our own framework of understanding, as limited as that may be, to this conversation. So that'll take me into why I'm saying all this. And it wasn't just this situation. I actually have been watching over the week and just got finished watching an exchange that I thought was went very nasty, very left, very quickly. And, I don't think that it's enough to say, oh, well, we're all adults and, we should be able to engage. We teach our children to have civility, or at least we should. We give them this long list of stuff that they're supposed to do when they're kindergartners, how to engage, how to act, how to say things, how to say sorry, all those kinds of things. But, I think that the problem comes in that when we get to be adults, we really let go of a lot of that civility. And we do that under the premise or under the guise that, as mature adults, we should be able to handle it. We should be able to engage. But there's a right and a wrong way to engage people. So this is what I'm talking about. I know I just said that, but I wanted to give that nugget too. So I was in a particular group and, I saw this conversation kind of going left, and so I played along with it. And, part of this discomfort for me was that how quickly two people who had been completely at odds on another post quickly joined forces in order to clap back or to say something to me. And so really I gave my opinion on the post. The post was basically, should your spouse or whomever give up their friends of a opposite sex? I happen to not believe that, and maybe I'll vlog on that on another day, but I have really good friends who are like brothers to me that I've known for 20 plus years who, have been very involved and instrumental in my son's lives and, the lives of my children, period. And who I know beyond a shadow of a doubt will pray for me, will be there at the drop of a hat if I needed them, definitely have talked me off the ledge a couple of times. A couple of these brothers have definitely been around and, helped me get through my divorce, not because they provided anything other than emotional support. And so these will forever be and are my brothers. And so I would be very disturbed and very hurt if my husband or, my significant other now started demanding that I not have conversation with them or that I not, go out with them. I also was careful to say that I think that communication is the key. I don't care what people in the street say. Like, I think that letting other people govern and rule your marriage is a problem from the beginning. Nobody should be comfortable enough to come to you and tell you whatever your spouse is doing. Now, I'll say something else in a minute. The trick, though, is even if those people feel comfortable with coming and telling your spouse something, it should never take your spouse by surprise, which I said, meaning if I have decided that my brother and I are going to go get lunch or, breakfast or whatever, I have always told my significant other, hey, so-and-so and I are going to go for breakfast. I just wanted you to know. If he calls during that breakfast, I answer the phone. I don't send him the voicemail. I don't, play games with that. I'm always available to him because that's my man. That's my significant other. My brother is my brother, but I don't go off the grid. I don't disappear. I don't do any of those things. And so I would expect that the same courtesy is extended to me. Now, I have a significant other who has, relationships with women that predate me. What do I look like coming in and telling this grown man that he needs to get rid of his friends? I'll wait. Like, I don't even know what that means. What I do ask for is communication and common courtesy. And common courtesy is wrapped up in that communication. Y'all follow me? So anyway, I engaged in, some back and forth banter, and, I said what I said, and I really said that a lot of that demand is rooted in ego. It's rooted in insecurity. And what did I say that for? Because that was just like, that's just disrespectful. I believe strongly that disrespect or the perception of being disrespected is also rooted in your ego. If you don't care about something, if something doesn't affect you, if something does not tamper with your self-esteem or, make your spidey senses tingle, or, you think that this person is cheating on you and now you popping out of bushes and carrying on, then you don't have anything to worry about. It's only when you're bothered by those kinds of behaviors or bothered by that action that really messes with your mental and it messes with your whole perception of yourself. I think that people think that when you say ego that it's a bad thing. It's not. I really think that your ego is neutral and you swing the pendulum one way or the other. Your ego as a normal person is what guides you, is what shapes you, it gives you your confidence. You go out there and face the world. You have your own idea of what is acceptable and permissible to bring to you or to do with you, or how to engage with you, or how to even speak with you. And your presence really commands a lot of that. When you have low self-esteem, your ego is not even present because you accept everything because you think that you deserve that. When your sense of self is overinflated or your ego is off the charts, then that's where you start slipping into arrogance and, narcissism and all those kinds of things. I'm not talking about either one of these two extremes. I'm talking about right here where you've got an understanding with your spouse or your significant other. I don't believe that people who are outside of that, who don't pay no bills, who don't carry any groceries, who don't, lay up and listen to, either one of you all go back and forth and, have issues and meltdowns and, get the encouragement that you need from your spouse or from your significant other. If those people are not involved in your day-to-day lives and your day-to-day interactions, then why are you giving them so much weight to say what they have to say about your relationship? I just find that bizarre. But beyond that, I said that I thought that it was rooted in insecurity. What the heck did I say that for? Then all of a sudden I became young and inexperienced. And because I was unmarried, I don't have a perspective. So that was insult number one. It was kind of a combination insult, but it was like, it was one of those, I don't mean to offend kind of things, which lets you know that something offensive is about to come. I honestly wasn't offended by it, so I responded, no, I'm actually 49, and, I have degrees and such and such and such. Well, what did I say that for? Because then it became, I'm lording my degree. Never mind that you insulted me on the slide. See, I don't think that we really take responsibility for the things that we say, because we elicit a certain response from people when we do those things. And so this banter kind of went back and forth, and I honestly wanted to see where it was going to go. But after a while, I just stopped responding and I said, okay. But even with saying okay, it's like having a dog with a bone. Like, you must have the last word. So here's the thing. When you know that something is irritating you, or if you know that you have a trigger with something, and maybe some people don't know that they have a trigger, but this is how you can tell. A trigger for you will be a sore spot. A trigger for you will be, you need to address this. You can't, for the life of you, just continue to scroll and let people have their own opinion. You feel the need to defend whatever it is that you believe and counter what it is that the other person believes. That's not civil discourse. Civil discourse is, I believe what I believe, and I respect your right to believe what you believe. You don't try and persuade me. I don't try and persuade you. It is what it is. But when you get into like these back and forth exchanges, and then, there's like slight innuendos or slight hints or what have you, and honest to goodness, if you pick up someone else's offense and you feel that someone has slighted you, you should probably ask for clarification. And if that person tells you, which is what happened in this situation, that they're not labeling you, or they, this is not what they said, but you go on to say, yes, you did say, like, you just disregarded what their clarification is. So, it really does wreak havoc, I think, in terms of engagement and really having an honest dialogue and back and forth exchange. And people will get in their feelings about a lot of things, and they're not being productive. They're actually being counterproductive and don't really realize it. So, and then another exchange that I just saw, like, it was almost like, it's one thing to say, I think that this type of behavior, generally speaking, is insecure. It's another thing to say, you're insecure, you got problems, you got issues, you got whatever. So now you're like Monday quarterbacking with, psychiatric diagnoses, and you don't even know these people just based upon someone's font. And I'm quick to tell people, I don't font box with people. I'm not getting ready to fight with you on the internet. Like, you can believe what you want to believe. After a while, I'll just stop answering. I don't feel like engaging in that. It's futile. And I really do think that a lot more of us need to walk away from situations, walk away from things that we know that are triggers for us. I don't generally comment on things that involve, issues with children, be it sexual molestation or sexual assault or things like that, because it is a trigger for me, and I don't know that I can remain civil or that I can have a civil discourse about that. And those of you all who have been following me a while know that I have a vlog up about being molested as a child. I in no way, shape, or form view myself as a victim. I choose to believe that I choose to focus on going through that and coming out on the other side. Although I was not unaffected, definitely I was not broken. And so I'm very clear and I'm very transparent about that situation that I went through. But I don't think that people have a really good awareness or understanding of what that really means, particularly when it comes to, certain entertainers. And I won't, I'm not going to go there, but, just being a predator and what predators look like and, what sexual assault actually looks like. But I digress. I think, if you know that there are certain things that are not worth your time, you should probably refrain from involving yourself in that. You don't have to speak on everything. And I think that the social structure that social media was intended to foster and to create really has become like an albatross for a lot of us, because, you get online, you stay online, and now you become a troll, because all you do is look for an opportunity to, either rebut or refute or, engage in some type of incivility that is really beneath all of us. We can really engage and have conversation that matters and makes sense, but we can't continue to do that if we're attacking each other. And women, in my opinion, are the worst offenders. We need to stop. I am Felisa. I would love to hear your comment and your commentary and your feedback on this. Let me know what y'all think. Maybe I'm reading it all wrong, and if that's the case, I'll accept that and I'll listen to it. I may not agree, but I'll accept it and I'll listen to it. Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe so that you're notified when I upload a new vlog. And I will catch y'all later on.